So I'm about 3.5 weeks post-surgery and I'm out walking. Pretty much the only exercise that I can do right now. So I have been doing it every single day, increasing my mileage a little bit. So probably going to do about 4 miles today. Feeling really, really good. I have very little pain. Super surprised about that. I expected to be a little more uncomfortable than I really have been. And I feel like every single day I get a little bit more feeling like myself. About 2 weeks in, I had an episode where I was feeling really good and I did too much. And I definitely felt that the next day. That was pretty humbling. I'm used to being very physical, and where I was really just kind of maybe the first day that I was really just feeling like myself. And so, I was still doing things easy, but it was easy to overdo it. I guess it was bound to happen. And it did. And I, definitely got a reality check as far as that goes. But yeah, overall, I feel really, really good. I'm back to work. So I'm basically just coaching, not doing any exercises of any kind, not doing really any demoing. Can't lift anything still over 5 pounds, which is super annoying, especially the more I start to feel better and the more I start to feel like myself, the harder it is to be like, oh, I can't pick that up, right? But I definitely think it's important to follow those restrictions. Basically, what is hinging on the recovery is how well the vaginal cuff heals. So basically think about where my cervix was. They had to kind of sew that over and kind of sew that to my pelvic floor. Speaking of my pelvic floor, I had a lot of pelvic floor tightness. I think that was probably the bulk of my discomfort, was the pelvic floor tightness. Really feeling like I just could not relax it. So that was uncomfortable, but all in all, it's been smooth sailing. My stomach is still pretty swollen. Definitely back in my regular clothes. And every day I feel like it goes down, it feels a little bit better. But because I'm feeling so good and so much more like myself, I feel like I'm super impatient about wanting my stomach to be back. Not just back where it was before the surgery, but back where it was before I started feeling, the distension and the lump in my belly. And I think I'm being kind of unrealistic considering how much scar tissue and just basically, the length of the surgery and all those things. So I am really trying hard to give myself a little bit of grace, which is something I tell my clients all the time, but I'm having a hard time giving it to myself about that. So I'm still struggling a little bit with that. I've been really trying to nourish my body in a way that's going to help me heal faster. So even though I'm significantly less active than I was previous to surgery, obviously I'm not exercising, I'm not lifting, I'm not doing any of those things. I'm keeping my protein right where it was. So I'm trying to hit between 110, 120 grams of protein a day, really focusing on fiber and just nourishing foods to try to, give my body all that it needs to heal as quickly as it can. That has also been a little bit of a struggle, obviously, where I'm feeling like, my stomach's not back down where I'd like it to be. I'm worried about muscle loss, but I'm also worried about putting on a lot of body fat too. So I've been struggling a little bit with that and just reminding myself that yes, your body needs the protein to heal and to preserve as much muscle as you possibly can while you're in this recovery phase. Other than that, again, I'm really surprised at how well I feel and how well things are going. Got a pretty good, I don't know if you can tell, but I got a pretty good walking pace going on. I don't feel any discomfort, pelvic floor discomfort at this point. So I'm kind of just really happy to be out on this beautiful day, exercising and trying to enjoy this recovery time, even though it's been hard to give myself grace and hard to be patient. So next week on Thursday, I go for my post-op. It'll be 5 weeks from surgery, and he will do an internal speculum exam. He'll also do an internal exam with his hands and kind of see where we're at with the healing of that vaginal cuff. And I mean, if it's healed, I could potentially get, the all clear and the go ahead with exercise. And if it's not healed, then, obviously it could be another couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to next week, trying not to rush the summer. So I don't want to rush to get to next week, but, definitely looking forward to next week, hoping that I'm going to get the all clear. I can already tell that, if I don't get the all clear, I'm probably going to be a little disappointed. But fingers crossed, that's where we're at. I will update you after that appointment and let you know how that went. And, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions as to, my experiences. I'm happy to go into detail about some of the things that I experienced, specifically with, urinating after surgery and those kinds of things. So definitely feel free to comment, ask questions. Otherwise, I will talk to you in a little over a week with an update on whether or not I get the all clear.